recording. Okay, here we go. PS5 Pro, another console that's going to cost a lot of money. So this will be a pretty simple event, I think, because it's only 9 minutes long, right?
Yeah,
so
which, I mean...
it will just be, hey, this is the PS5, these are the specs, this is the price, this is the launch date, and there'll be like a few techie things in there, but that's basically it.
I mean, it's kind of nice.
What?
Kind of nice. Just like show us the stuff.
I feel like they should have put this in a state of play. Actually, I think this is a bad decision to have this as a separate event.
I wonder why they didn't end up doing.
I think they're doing it because people that show up for a state of play do not want to hear Mark Cerny talk for 9 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Live now with the PS5 Pro reveal. Copy. Paste. Can you say something just so I know you're actually being... Yeah.
Testing.
There we go. Okay, you're on Twitch. Cool. So, yeah, don't say anything that's not TOS.
That's just how I'm gonna start.
Confirmed that they can hear you.
Swinging.
Oh god! I've just confirmed that they can hear you. So okay. God, it feels weird to see the YouTube countdown in full screen. I don't think I've ever seen it like this before.
I'm excited to see the Concord gameplay.
Oh yeah! I mean, did you see that they've basically removed the review copies from people's libraries?
Yeah, like they just got rid of it.
I think it's a tax write-off. They're doing it so they can do it as a tax write-off, because if some people still own the game, you can't do that.
I don't know if it's coming back.
I don't think it will. They said that they're going to explore their options, but I do not think we will ever hear about it again. They're not going to say they're not coming back. They'll just we'll probably hear of major layoffs in a few months' time, and that will be it.
Yeah.
Which really sucks. I do feel for the developers, because a lot of the reasons that the game failed, I feel, are actually separate from the game itself. Like, I did play the beta. I did not really enjoy it. But I think if I wasn't so burnt out on the Overwatch style of game, I might have enjoyed it a lot more. I just think it came at a really bad time.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I mean, you remember when that state of play happened. Both me, you, and everybody else on the planet just was like, oh, fuck off, I don't want this.
Yeah, and none of us were really...
The funny thing is, I feel like it actually did fool people with that 5-minute CG trailer. I immediately knew this was a multiplayer shooter.
Oh, yeah, no, I think when it showed up, I was like, is this like a... I thought it was like a heist game.
Nah. To be fair, I had seen the reports already, because there'd already been reports that this is what Firewalk was working on. So,
like, I forgot it existed.
Yeah. It showed up at that showcase last year. Along with Fair Games, which is going to be very interesting to see how that goes now, because that's also a live service game. I believe it's more of like a co-op live service, but that trailer was really bad. So, I hope they retool that, because, yeah, another Concord would just be a disaster for Sony. Also, Jade Raymond is leading the project, and obviously Jade Raymond, like, she's one of the first people behind Assassin's Creed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think she also did Watch Dogs, if I recall. Well, what's Jade Raymond's resume? I know she did something else big. It might have been Beyond Good and Evil.
Maybe.
No, it's Watch Dogs. It's Watch Dogs. And Splinter Cell Blacklist as well.
This YouTube chat is ridiculous. I liked Blacklist. I know people don't like Blacklist.
People that don't like the new Splinter Cell games just hate cool. They hate fun.
Yeah, and Blacklist was fun.
Not as stealthy. You don't need to use the mark and execute system. You don't need to use it. It's just fun.
Yeah. Well, and then they had like the different playstyles.
Oh, no, I forgot. She founded Motive Studios, EA, after leaving Ubisoft, and she basically led the Battlefront 2 campaign.
Oh, I didn't like the Battlefront 2.
It wasn't great, no. I remember I was insisting that it was a 10 out of 10 masterpiece because I was 16 years old and coping massively.
That sounds about right. for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, because I adored the first Battlefront game, right? Just the multiplayer game, but like...
It's the no, you don't understand. I spent money on this game.
Yeah.
It has to be good.
And I spent basically my entire year hyping myself up for it. And I think it was more time than money that was causing the cope. But I remember I was like, oh, the loot boxes aren't that bad. Overwatch has it too. Of course, Overwatch's loot boxes were cosmetic.
Yeah, Battlefront, that it had like the card system, right?
Oh god, so bad. They did actually completely retool it, and I've heard that the game's actually in a very good state now.
Well, good. Needs to be. God damn.
They basically removed all the star card system and the loot boxes. They removed the loot boxes within like a week. Because everybody was moaning about it. They were still in the game, but you couldn't pay for them. But yeah, it was like they introduced cosmetic microtransactions, and then eventually they dropped those as well, and you can just get them. I think it's like $10 to get all the cosmetics in the game now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So apparently the game's actually in a really good state. It's also like a lot of content updates and stuff. So nothing saving that campaign though. That campaign was a yeah. So she left Motive Studio in 2018, which I believe was soon before they cancelled that open world Star Wars game they were working on. I mean, do you remember the Squadrons Star Wars game?
I do.
That was made in like a year. It was like reworked from the open world cancelled game.
Huh.
And then they also made Dead Space after that, and now they're working on Iron Man, and I believe they're making the Battlefield campaign. Next year's Battlefield campaign.
I hope the next Battlefield's good.
Well, it has a campaign, so that's progress. The last few I actually quite liked Battlefield 1's campaign quite a bit.
The problem with Battlefield 1 is that because of it was like the war stories.
Yeah, but I thought they were actually quite good. Battlefield
I just felt they were too short.
The war stories as well, and I thought it was not very good. I did not like the Battlefield 5 campaign.
Wasn't there one where you're like playing as an Australian guy running around sending messages?
Was that in Battlefield 1?
That's Battlefield 1.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that mission was really cool.
I actually quite liked it. Cause I feel like because they were kind of hopping around different perspectives, they could have a lot of very cool set pieces in that game.
Yeah.
It's like, all the Call of Duty Battlefield games are basically just ghost train rides, right? You have to get as much cool shit in your face as possible, roll credits.
How many cool things can you see in this amount of time?
Yeah. Like 5 hours or so. But, yeah.
The new COD campaign does look good, though.
It does. It's from the Cold War guys, right? Raven. So
yeah.
Raven are such a good fucking studio. Like, they are probably Microsoft's best studio at the moment.
Maybe.
I mean, they haven't actually made anything apart from Call of Duty.
The Forza guys.
I don't know, that Fable game's looking a bit...
Yeah, but Forza's awesome.
It is, but... do you mean Turn 10 or Playground?
Playground.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical about that Fable game, to be honest. Apparently it's gone through development hell, so... Should be out next year, though. Would be nice if we had a upgraded console to play it on.
I think Microsoft's really good.
It'll just be on PS5 Pro.
Yeah, it's...
But yeah, I do find it weird that they're not doing a Xbox Series XX, which can be shortened to XXX.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
8,000 X's. This is the porn console. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Microsoft. That's just what we wanted.
Well, we all know that Xbox fans are just massive gooners, so...
Xbox fans are just like the most depressed fucking people.
Oh god, I actually could not imagine putting like my mental well-being into Xbox. Into any console really, but especially Xbox.
I really like my Xbox.
I have seen so much cope from Nintendo fans this weekend over Astro Bot.
I got a bunch of Xbox stuff. I got an Xbox hoodie. It doesn't affect my life.
T-shirt. That's like basically the only gaming merch I have.
I got that Xbox Pride hoodie because that shit was fire.
Okay.
Sending you a picture. Dope as shit.
But yeah, 10 minutes now until
That's what PlayStation
10 more
needs.
minutes of yapping.
PlayStation makes one of those, I'll buy it.
Yeah, actually does kind of sick. Actually,
it's kind of a cool hoodie, eh?
Yeah, not bad. No, I'm not finishing that.
Half the people in this chat would hate it because look at the flags they're spamming.
Yeah. Not. Yes, drop.
Every
this.
time
Every
time, man. I think it's gonna get better, and I look over, it gets worse.
I closed it. It's like I don't want that shit on Twitch. I don't think it would actually get into like TOS trouble, but I don't want it to casually imply that I support it. But,
I don't think.
Right, yeah,
I don't think they're showing
just to be
gameplay,
clear,
by the way.
Of course there's no gameplay. Just to be clear, because people will take that out of context, nothing to do with gay people, what I just said. It's about something else. It's about something else. I absolutely support gay people. Don't take that out of context.
Gay people are A-okay.
Jesus. But no, I'm serious. This is not about gay people. It's about something else, which we shall not bring up.
Alright, so what's your prediction on the price again?
$5.99, no disc drive.
Yeah.
Because it's $450 for the base PS4, right? And I believe the PS4 Pro was actually only priced at $100 more than the PS4 was at that time. I think it was like $300 for the PS4 CM, $400 for the PS4 Pro. I don't think this is going to be like some crazy $800 price or something, no. It will be in Canada because our fucking economy is trash.
Oh, it's just god-awful, yeah.
Friend of mine posted a tweet a couple of weeks ago about the new 2TB Series X, right?
Yeah.
This was very much tailored to a Canadian audience, and it was showing a pre-order page, but it's $7.99. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Because it's $600 US, $800 Canadian, which is exactly what I expect the PS5 Pro price range to be, by the way. And people were like, actually, it's $5.99. Why are you being deceptive? And he's like, dude, this was obviously tailored for a Canadian audience.
Like, bro.
But yeah, it very much left the target audience. Tweet left the target audience. Sad. At least he didn't get thousands of people telling him to kill himself, like what happened when my tweet left the target audience.
I mean, yeah. That was a time.
That was one of the times, yeah. One of the times of all time, for sure.
I remember being like, buddy, I think,
I was asleep. I got that reply at like 4 in the morning, and I woke up at like 9, and my phone was going beep beep, beep beep, beep beep, beep beep.
Well, I remember because I was attached to that thread. So,
No,
I woke up. Yeah, I replied to it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I forgot to turn off email notifications. So it maxed out my email.
That is fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
So I woke up to like a big thing from Google being like, "You're out of space," and I was like, "What are you talking about, Google?" And then I opened up Twitter and I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh. Yeah, that was one of the times of all time.
This is a little crazy.
It was crazy. I did not expect... It wasn't even like something crazy. I wasn't calling him like the spawn of Satan or something. I was just saying, not convinced.
It's funny because now it's popular to hate him.
Yeah. I always knew there was something off about the guy though. There's something with his vibe. It was like, I don't trust this guy. I don't think he's the spawn of Satan even now. I just think he's a bit of an idiot.
I just saw a good tweet. It's I'm excited for the PS5 to get its 60 FPS update.
I'm not even going to argue with that because it feels pretty rare that games run at a yacht 60 these days. Most games will at least try.
We were talking about Space Marine last night. It's like, what, 720p
seems unoptimized on both consoles.
On console. No, it's running amazing on my PC. Like, amazing. So...
Yeah, but you've got a much higher spec PC than the consoles. Your CPU is going to be way better than the CPU in this thing.
I always wonder why they go really low on the CPU.
Well, it didn't for the base console. So for 2020 standards, that CPU is pretty good. But the Pro consoles, I think the formula that the Pro consoles are going to have is a minimal CPU upgrade and a big GPU upgrade.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because it's easier to develop games across platforms if you're just working with a better GPU.
I mean, that's fair, but...
Your audio is cutting in and out for me. It's actually fucking irritating.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear myself.
How about now?
That's me a little bit better. Let me try and fix this on my end. I think it's on my end. Say something?
Hello.
It'll have to do. It feels unbalanced. Like, the audio feels unbalanced.
Could be. I've been having trouble with this microphone.
I'm gonna re-plug it in. Headphones, yes. Alright, say something now. Say something now.
Huh?
Say something.
What? No, what do you want me to talk about?
Okay,
Want me to talk about the lack of games?
I think I just need new headphones. I think that's what it is.
I just bought new
having
headphones
problems on my console yesterday. I've had these headphones for like 3-4 years now, so...
I actually bought 2 pairs of headphones. I bought earbuds and a headset.
It's going to be a very expensive fall for me, because I'm going to be buying the Pro, I'm going to be buying a MetaQuest, because I want to play the Batman game, and probably going to need to buy a new headset as well.
Go play it at a library.
The MetaQuest?
Yeah.
I would not be able to play the new Batman game in a fucking library.
In Toronto, yeah?
I'll just buy one.
For one game, that's a little... Well, I guess you can play some more games, too.
Yeah. I also want to play that Assassin's Creed game that came out last year. I've actually heard it's pretty good.
Well, Ubisoft actually does pretty good with VR.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting to see that Splinter Cell VR game, but they cancelled it, so...
It's just... I think they announced it, didn't they? And then it just...
I've heard that Ubisoft might go private.
I think they're going to have to.
I think it would ultimately be good for the company, because private companies don't need to answer to shareholders. So...
how many times have they been almost hostily taken over in the past few years?
Yeah, out of the Vivendi shit. But Ubisoft are in a much worse position now than they were in 2016.
Yeah.
Like, way worse.
Well, if Assassin's Creed bombs, they're fucked.
I have heard that pre-orders are very strong for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the source for that is Tom Henderson, who is very reliable. So,
it's gotta...
with Ubisoft, especially with Ubisoft.
It's gotta pop off.
Oh, yeah. Outlaws... Here's the thing, if Star Wars Outlaws came out, like, 2016, would have been the biggest hit of the year.
Oh, yeah.
But I think everybody's just burned on Star Wars now, and to a lesser extent, everybody's also just kind of burned on Ubisoft-style games. So it doesn't surprise me that it flopped. I mean, yeah, that Han Solo movie flopped. That was a few years ago now. And The Acolyte was, like, basically had like, nobody watched it. So...
By the way, if you're gonna get headphones, go with Sony's.
Okay.
They're like the best.
I have the PlayStation Pulse headset, I think it's called.
No, like real Sony's.
Okay, because these are technically Sony's.
Yeah, no, like the real Sony headphones.
These are actually very good headphones, by the way. Like,
they're for the price point.
So
I think they're the equivalent of like their mid headset, but they're way cheaper.
It's overpriced for what it is, but it's good for live in 21 minutes.
Oh, it's live in 1 minute and 10 seconds.
It says 21 minutes for me.
Might have to refresh.
Okay, IGN. Ah, there we go. Yeah.
So do I need to stream this through Discord to you?
No, I've got it. 55 seconds. It just was the wrong page. Alright. If it's like 700 with no disk drive, I think people are going to flip for fuck out. It's going to be $5.99 with no disk drive. And if there's one with a disk drive, it'll be $6.99. Alright, here we go.
Alright, 30 seconds. Let's
time
see.
to hear Mark Cerny yap for 9 minutes.
Do you think it's going to be the ugliest fucking console ever made?
Yes, it's going to be bigger than the base PS5. I can tell you that right now.
They're so ugly.
I mean, shit. And the ugliest console I own is the base Xbox One. That thing is fucking bad.
At least you can stuff that one properly in a corner.
Yeah, you can't really do that with PS5. Anyway, let's go. Give me the good Cerny. Oh, are there gonna be video games showing off here? Why are we getting the ESRB
I'm
rating?
Mark Cerny. I'm excited
Fucking
to
just
be
got
here to
jump
talk about
scared
the
there.
newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yes,
and how it advances
go!
gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
Depends who you ask, to be honest.
When
Can I get
PS
the shit off the
viewed in
screen?
2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed, complex gameplay. With character
They did
counts
not just
reaching
show off
into
Dynasty
hundreds,
Warriors.
Oh yeah, that's coming out next year.
and frame rates
I know,
that can be
I'm
as high
excited.
as 120
That was
frames
shown
per
off at the State of PA, so...
PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from
Oh
intricate
yeah, I remember
details
this. This was like
to
the tech demo
fantastic
that they
worlds
made.
with vast panoramas
They never
to
released
explore.
it.
Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or
Ray
glass,
tracing is actually like a big...
and the realism that
increase
comes
for
from real-time
PS5.
global illumination.
Once you get like a really good monitor and have ray tracing,
What?
You're like, I can't go back.
Fast transitions
Yeah,
between game
like
worlds
that's the biggest... This is the closest thing to a generational leap that the PS5 had.
and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an
Oh, yeah,
unparalleled
the
sense
Demon's
of
Souls
immersion to
remake.
the
I
sound
forgot
of the
about that.
games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense
Will they
controller
release
has
a good
haptics
controller?
that let you feel through your hands
They already
what your
have the best
character is
controller, so-
experiencing inside of the
false.
Play Astrobot, and then you'll be
It's wonderful
proven
to
wrong.
see such variety
play
and
Astrobot.
richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second. Mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time.
Doesn't surprise me.
Moving at
Performance mode is
or at
way
least
better.
Narrowing that divide is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that,
Frame rate
PS5
over
Pro
graphics every
substantially
time.
improves
Every
over
fucking
PlayStation
time.
5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3.
The big
First,
three.
make the GPU much larger and increase the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
Okay, so it's not 3 times as fast
Second,
like I heard.
we made major upgrades. to
Yeah,
ray
I
tracing,
know. You're fucking
taking
insane
a
for that.
streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation
Come
of
on, that's
arrays
copium.
at double or even
That's what I
triple the
heard.
speeds
That's
of
what I can say.
PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can
I think
add
it might have
an
been 3 times as
extraordinary
fast
amount of
ray
detail,
tracing
which
performance.
boosts the effective
That's what I might have
resolution
heard.
of the games.
Maybe.
Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro.
So we are seeing some
It has
PS5
huge
Pro
amounts of detail
gameplay.
and targets a
Alright,
super
honest to
PS4
God.
game.
frames per second.
It's a PS4 game.
Let's compare this to the fidelity.
I mean, The Last of Us 2 already looked
which is only
incredible on
running
the
at 30
PS4.
frames per second.
I don't
It's
think that's the
therefore
game you used to
choppy.
show it off, though.
Yeah, because it's a game that already looked very good on the
This goal of
PS4.
delivering almost fidelity-like graphics.
This is a little bit
for
better
a
because
frame
more
rate
colors.
has been achieved for a broad
Maybe
set of
not this scene. There we go.
Marvel's Spider-Man
Again,
2
this is not the sort of scene that you should be using.
and Ratchet.
Yeah, use Ratchet.
Apart.
Just
Yeah,
use Ratchet
Ratchet-
gameplay.
Pro is close to
Ratchet, or
doubling
even some third-party stuff like Avatar.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per
This
second.
is going to be the more interesting.
What we see here is a difference in detail.
Yeah, this looks
Now
way
see
better.
the rust.
Sharper and
That does
crisper
look
than
way
PS5.
better.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet and Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout
Yeah,
the scene,
okay, that looks
including the
much,
trees
much better.
and procedural cars.
So if we can get a steady 60
So overall,
FPS,
some
then
remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon
some
Forbidden
mid.
West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power.
you're ahead of me because I immediately
To
knew you were
lighting
talking
and
about
visual
Horizon
effects.
before.
Some pretty mid.
I mean, the
Well,
graphics
to
of
compare
Horizon
to the
are
skin
insane.
Oh,
What
phenomenal.
up, guys? Dwarf's orders.
Fuck, it's a bad
There
game.
is a reason Sony used this as like to show off their TVs.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates.
Sony
The
makes
faster
really good
hardware in
TVs.
PS5 Pro can make a real difference. Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay.
Oh yeah, I remember when they
While
said Gran
continuing to
Turismo
support
was going to have ray
targeted 60
tracing and then they
frames per second.
changed their mind.
That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts
Showing
Legacy,
off Hogwarts? Can't.
allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy
fucking
addition
hope
to the
so.
PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's not going to be new games.
What an ugly fucking console.
That's exactly what I heard it looked like. That's exactly what I heard. Final Fantasy.
Where's the Concord gameplay?
It'll be worth it.
Why are they showing a PS4 game here?
Well, they don't really have a lot of PS5 games to choose from.
True.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Iron Wake. There we go. Here's some third-party stuff. Is that Assassin's Creed Shadows? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be like their marquee launch title. It's weird because it showed up at the Xbox show, so maybe they just don't have a specific marketing deal. Hogwarts Legacy is a very nice looking game. It's a very boring game because it's just your standard Ubisoft open world, but graphically very nice looking.
I don't think I actually beat it.
I didn't. I dropped it after 10 hours.
Vertical stands sold separately. $6.99!
No way!
Fuck off! Fuck off! No! Come on!
Whoa! $6.99, no disc drive.
In this economy! Fuck me, people can't get gas. You want 700 US? Fuck me!
There's no way, dude. That's mental.
Come on!
I'm still
I
gonna buy
can
it.
see the memes.
I'm still gonna buy
Oh
it.
my god. This say 800 fucking pounds?
No. Surely
Hold on,
not.
I gotta rewind here. It's on YouTube, you can actually rewind.
Oh my... No, it's euros. It's euros. $6.99.
It's euros? Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if that was... The poor British would get
I
screwed.
think that would actually break the British economy. I'm not kidding. Even further than it already is.
That's... Oh my god.
$6.99 is crazy. I'm still gonna buy it. But...
I'm not. That's... Come on. That's 700 US to Canadian. That's $950.
yeah, I expect it'll be retailing at something like that. This is a PS3 reveal moment.
Let's calculate some GST on that.
So, the vertical stand is sold separately as well. So you
Yeah.
can't even fucking...
And your disk drive. So you gotta pay for your disk drive. You gotta pay for your...
Yeah, I could see $6.99 for this if it came with a disc drive.
So after taxes, you're looking at over $1,000. It's gonna be like $1,070, and then let's say the stand is another $30. So you're looking at $1,100. Yeah, just
Jesus.
build a PC.
I mean, you can't build a PC at this level of power for $1,100, so...
Build a PC, dude. Last longer.
Yeah, but you can't build a PC with equivalent power for...
I give YouTubers a week.
What?
They'll cook something up.
So, what did you say?
Give YouTubers a week. They'll cook something up. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but it'll be, oh, you gotta buy second-hand parts and you know, really old parts. It's like, yeah.
How much is a 4080?
It's like 1,000, I think.
Yeah, it's like $1,500. How much is a 4060 Ti?
$6.99
I got mine for like
is
200.
wild. This is arrogant Sony pricing through and through.
Yeah, that's
This
insane.
shows how just non-competition Microsoft has been. If the Series X, if Sony were genuinely worried about Xbox taking part of their player base, they would not put this at $6.99. That is, I thought $5.99 or maybe $6.99 with a disc drive.
I think,
$6.99
we were talking
with
about it.
no disc drive is wild.
We were talking about it yesterday. I was like, I think $5.99 is the max. Like,
No,
anything
it wasn't
more
going to
than
be
that.
less than $5.99. It was always going to be $5.99-ish.
$6.99. People aren't going to buy that here.
I will.
Like that's $1,100. That's a lot. If I could, the moms at Christmas ain't buying that for their kids.
Yeah, this is definitely aimed at the enthusiast thing. I actually don't really have an issue with it being that price, but if it's like the same CPU and stuff, no, that's crazy.
Look, that's the PS4 Pro was $400.
Yeah, it was $399 for the PS4 Pro.
Like, so that's insane.
Genuinely crazy. For that price, it better turn into a Transformer and blow me. Jesus Christ.
Are they wrong? Are they wrong?
No
Every
comment.
single tweet is not like, oh my god, it looks amazing. Every single
it's
tweet
2
is like...
terabytes. It's 2 terabytes. That's
It's
not
2
so bad then.
terabytes?
Yeah, that's actually not so bad. Because it was only 825 gigs, the base PS5.
Well, that saves you... Like, I don't know if you did it. I did it.
I did
You
not.
replaced the M.2. But like, oh my god, that is so much.
That is actually not so bad if it has a 2 terabyte. I think that's a bad decision, actually. That is a bad decision for them to make this 2 terabyte. They should have gone 1 terabyte at $5.99. Because I was expecting 1 terabyte.
Yeah, drop the price, do a terabyte.
This is a bad decision. Disk drive is a separate purchase. Okay, that's not surprising. But it will support a disk drive. I mean...
How much is a stand?
Yeah, that's like $30. And they did that with the PS5 CM. The vertical stand is not included. I do have my PS5 vertically. Because I think it looks okay vertically and fucking ugly sideways.
I actually can't fit it on my shelf sideways. So it's... it's behind my monitor vertically.
I have it in front of my TV, actually. I have it right next to the Series X.
It is too tall. It is too tall to be in front of my TV. My Series X.
My TV is a table propping it up, right? So.
Oh, mine's hung. Mine's hung up on a wall. Oh my god! When's the release? Did they release it or?
November 7th.
November 7th.
So basically, Assassin's Creed Shadows is like a launch title ish because that's November 12th.
I will not be in the country.
Okay. So when do pre-orders begin? September 26th. Okay. I'll get in contact with EB Games. They don't call it EB Games anymore, do they? It's GameStop now.
I don't think you'll have a hard time getting a pre-order.
It depends how many they make. Depends how many they make.
They're gonna make a bunch and then nobody's gonna fucking buy it.
No, this is very clearly tailored towards an enthusiast crowd.
Yeah, just take your kidney out, get yourself a PS5
I actually
Pro.
said 4 years ago I would not be against a $1,000 Pro console. Like a genuine full Pro upgrade for $1,000.
We haven't even seen the actual
This basically
breakdown
has the
performance.
same CPU and only a 45%, 45% faster rendering at standard, 3 times as fast ray tracing. That part is true. They confirmed it in at times triple the speeds of the current PS5 console for ray tracing. So that is actually a big upgrade. But I feel like you need a faster SSD, which is not supposed to be in here, and B, a much better CPU. And I don't think RAM is changing either. So if this was like a proper power upgrade, similar to buying a new PC, then yeah, sure, okay, I could see $1,000. $699 plus disk drive for yeah. I think this is a decision, one of the decisions of all time.
Yeah, this is...
I will say the 2 terabyte SSD makes this much easier to stomach. Much easier to stomach. Because that... I think it's $825 in the base PS5, and that's, you know, you've also got to have the console OS installed in that. So I think you're only getting 660 something in the PS5 base. That shit runs out really fucking fast. I can only have 10 games installed at once. If that. So I think that makes this easier to stomach for sure.
I mean,
I think it's a mistake to do it at $699 for 2 terabyte though.
Yeah,
it's a bizarre decision. I think if it was $599 at 1 terabyte, it would actually be better.
There's a lot of people that won't get it. That's all I'm gonna say. It's good. Like that's a
so it's £700, 700 Great British pounds sterling. That is $914 US in the UK.
Yeah.
That is 1,243 Unibucks.
Once again, the Brits are getting fucked.
Every international market's getting fucked. Like 799 euros.
What's 120,000 yen to Canadian?
That's 1,100 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
What is 800 euros to US? I think they're actually pretty similar in value. Yeah, 880. So, Britain's actually getting fucked harder than the.
Yeah, but 800 euro to CAD is $1,200 bucks.
Yeah. What is 700 USD to CAD? 950. Okay, that's not too bad.
What was it?
Well, this is plus tax. So what's 940? You say it's 949.99 times 1.13, $1,073.
And $70.
Myself.
And then you have to get a stand, which is another $30.
Plus
and then
tax.
if you want to play your disc games, you have to buy the disc.
And
thing.
I will be getting that for sure.
So that's another, let's say, $100.
They are going to. They're going to get ratio to hell and back on this.
So you're looking at around $1,200.
PA has no limits. It fucking does, and it's $700.
Yeah, play at a limit.
PA very much has a financial limit. If GTA 6 doesn't run at 60 FPS on the Pro, this whole thing's a wash. Yeah.
I just hopped on to Canada Computers. You can get my Intel processor, my i7, the 12
I bet your GPU is going to be
700K.
less powerful than this, though.
Maybe.
Your GPU's... It's going to be the 4060 Ti.
But, like, you can get a i7, 12 700K with a motherboard for $460. And then
Do you remember
can
the
spend...
reaction to PS4 Pro?
Sorry?
Do you remember the initial reaction to PS4 Pro?
I think people liked it, didn't they?
No, it was not. It was, we're not going to buy it. This looks like an absolute nothing upgrade. But it was only at $400. So...
The console looked like turbo ass, but
oh no, I actually quite like the look of the Pro.
I was excited for the mid-gen because I believe that the Xbox One and the PS4 were really underpowered.
They were, but to be fair, the PS4 Pro is also very underpowered.
But I also think that the big problem with the consoles that came out in 2013...
It's $80 US for disk drive upgrade? So it's going to be like over $800 US to get a console, a vertical stand, and a disk drive.
Yeah, nobody's gonna buy it.
I might just not do the vertical stand. I don't know.
Think of the leap that we had graphically from the years like 2013 to 2016. Like, the consoles just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and that's why the PS4 Pro is very, very underpowered.
Like, when the 360 and the PS3 came out, they were heavy hitters. They were good. And they lasted a long time.
Oh yeah,
but
the 360 was performing on par-ish with a lot of PCs until like 2011.
I still think even these consoles, like, you can still run most games, even at a lower resolution at 60 FPS. Like, that's still pretty good. But I don't know if the refresh is as important now. Maybe when Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out. Or 6, sorry.
The thing is, I expect GTA 6 will be very CPU heavy.
And this does not come with an upgraded CPU.
No. It's basically just buying a new graphics card.
If Microsoft announces next year a console with just a meaty CPU,
are we
it can
really
run Dragon's Dogma 2 at
I expected $5.99
FPS.
for 1 terabyte, and it's more than $100 to get an extra terabyte of SSD storage at the speeds the PS5 has, because the PS5 SSD is much better than your average SSD in a PC. It's like 5.5 megabytes a second, right?
Yeah.
Gigabytes a second, I think. Is it megabytes or gigabytes? It doesn't matter. Point is, it's very good. And the fact is 2 terabytes is actually easier to stomach for me, but then I am seeing it from I'm probably going to buy this anyway point of view.
Yeah.
I think having it at $5.99 with 1 terabyte would technically be a worse deal, but I think it would be easier to market to people. I think $6.99 is a prohibitive price point for a lot of people. Particularly in this fucking economy. Holy shit.
Same for $1,100, like, that's a good CPU, a good motherboard, and a good graphics card. Man, and people are gonna buy this thing and play on their little 1080p Amazon TV.
I have a 4K television, so like, if you were on a 1080p TV, this thing is no use for you.
Majority of people still have just like a regular TV.
I have a 4K TV, so for me, I think this will be worth it. Disk drive and vertical stand, you're basically in for $900, yeah. This is Apple pricing. This is
Yeah,
Apple
this is-
pricing. Hey, did you see the fucking prices for the new iPhones they announced yesterday? Like,
I don't really follow
crazy
Apple.
Shit. Crazy shit.
Why? How much? It can't be that bad.
It's bad. iPhones price. Yeah, I'm definitely not building a new PC this year. That's gonna have to wait till next year.
Jesus Christ. 800 USD for the 128 gigabyte?
Yeah, it's bad. For the iPhone.
And that's just for the regular iPhone. That's not even for like a Pro.
So, basically the goal was you'd get PS5 quality mode at 60 frames. For most games.
Yeah, I told you that yesterday in DMs.
Yeah, so they're basically upping the res of the base PS5 performance mode to get closer to quality. Which, I don't know, because the average quality mode is like 1800p or so for... Yeah, okay, that doesn't surprise me. What you just said.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to mention because...
Yeah,
it's a
fine.
Discord message, which I'm not going to mention for anybody watching this as a VOD. But... So it's 67% more compute units, 28% faster VRAM. 45% faster rendering overall for the GPU. 2 to 3 times better ray tracing.
Do you know what I think about this whole thing? Is that we're less excited at the fact that there is this console, and we're just talking about how to afford it. It's not like when the PS5 and the Series X
Yeah, I'm not going to
got
argue
announced.
on that. They've now
were like-
confirmed in Assassin's Creed Shadows PS5 Pro upgrade. They just confirmed that.
But like that was like the thing. Like we're buying these consoles. Like this looks amazing. And for this one, it's like, oh, well, maybe this game might run a bit better. Like, is that worth $1,100? That's a lot of money. People are reposting the PS3 meme.
Oh yeah, it very much feels like a PS3 moment.
It took me a whole summer to save up for my PS3. Fuck, nobody is talking about the console. Everybody's talking about the price.
Yeah. I do not know why they did a 2 terabyte SSD.
It feels like a very bad idea.
It's... I mean, I would probably pay... It's a better value, $6.99 with 2 terabytes and $5.99 with 1 terabyte. Right? Without a doubt, a better value. But it's an extra $100, which makes it much harder to market.
And a lot of people who have PS5s probably won't end up upgrading.
I feel like the fact that it has a 2 terabyte might actually make... The enthusiasts will upgrade, just like enthusiasts upgraded to the PS4. PS4 Pro. But this is very much oriented towards an enthusiast grab. $6.99 is mental, though.
What was the PS4 Pro like?
So what is 120
15% or something?
yen to USD? 841.
Transfer that to Canadian.
Okay, but it's actually yes in Japan than it is in the UK. Yeah, considerably yes. So the UK is getting shafted very hard here.
1,200 or 120,000 yen to Canadian is 1,150.
Yeah.
Like that's $1,200. Then you gotta get your stand, you gotta get your disk drive. I'm just glad that you can use the same controller.
Well, yeah. It's just like
Sony
Pro.
could have went all in on it. Could've
No,
been like-
it's a mid-gen upgrade, not a new console, right? So stuff like the controller and stuff will be the same.
Could have been like, we need a new special Pro controller.
I feel like maybe they could have included the DualSense Edge with this, which is basically their Pro controller. I think it has like side paddles.
Does it come with a controller?
It comes with a DualSense, a base DualSense.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna change the input on the stream to the thingamajig. You know what I'm saying? The thingamajig. Help me out here. The press release. There we go.
There you go.
Welcome PlayStation 5 Pro, the most visually impressive way to play games on PlayStation. Okay. Bunch of yapping. Higher fidelity graphics at 60 FPS. And then, upgraded GPU, advanced ray tracing, AI-driven upscaling. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows is listed here as a game with a PS5 Pro patch. So, I've actually already pre-ordered Shadows on the PS5. So that is a reason to to get the Pro, so I can play better.
Oh yeah, that's totally a reason.
$6.99 US dollars. What is the Canadian price going to be? It's going to be something like $9.50, I bet.
They could just round it to a nice even thousand.
The Japanese one includes tax, and the British one will as well. By the way, the British one's also including tax.
Oh, that's good. They're getting fucked a little less.
Yeah, that is the thing with UK prices. VAT is included with everything.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is listed as getting an upgrade. It'll run at 24 FPS instead of 15.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 runs like pure ass.
Because that is the most CPU-heavy game, I think, released this generation.
Okay, so you can pre-order them directly from PlayStation or at participating retailers. Pre-orders will begin on September 26th. I'm gonna buy one. It's still worth it for me. But maybe I should sell my base PS5. Make this a little bit...
I think you'd have to.
I don't have to. And I think I'd definitely wait until after I got the Pro, because I want to just copy everything over, right? Like you did, like you can do from the PS4 to PS4 Pro. I think I would be selling the PS5. My base PS5.
Just looking at these tweets, like 700 US to play Astrobot.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 terabytes is nice.
Yeah,
Games would be nice.
Here's the thing. This is actually probably a better value than what I predicted would launch at $599. Because it's what, $300 for a 2 terabyte SSD?
Well, they're sure as shit not going to drop the PS5 price. If they do, people will just buy that and this thing won't sell anything.
No.
Like, it has to be within $100 of the base PS5.
It's a small thing. But the vertical stand not being included is like real penny pinching shit.
Yeah.
And that is actually the thing that kind of makes me feel like this is PS3 territory. It's a small thing, but... Oh, vertical stand not included.
Yeah. Like, it's... hurts.
Do I need a vertical stand?
Well, it's like the ugliest fucking console ever made to begin with.
I could technically just remove the vertical stand from my base PS5, right? And just put it on.
Maybe, if they're the same.
They're presumably the same, right? It's just a stand.
I don't know.
I mean, the console looks almost identical, except it's just got 3 stripes, which doesn't surprise me because they used a 3-stripe thing for the PS4 Pro.
Do you know how many versions of the PS3 Slim came out?
Ooh, too fucking many. I actually have a fat PS3, like a big
Each
fat
one of those slim PS3s has a different vertical stand.
Yeah, and most of them don't even include PS2 support. My one has PS2 support, which is why I made a point of buying that one.
Yeah, I got the fat one with the PS2 games. And then
of course, the reason they got rid of it is because it was very expensive to have those chips in there.
Oh yeah, the original PS3 was insane. Like, that was a real value to purchase console.
Yeah, but it was just too expensive for the average person.
It was too expensive, but they're like, look, it has 10 USB ports. Oh man. $700 console for 60 FPS at 1440p. That's what it's going to end up being.
If GTA 6 runs at 60, which I will be surprised if it does, this thing will sell very well. If the PS5 Pro is the only way to play GTA 6 at 60 FPS on release, then this thing will sell exceptionally well. But there's also no CPU upgrade, so I don't know if it's going to be able to do that.
People are calling the price the Concord tax, and that's very funny to me.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that could be a part of it, though. Genuinely. Sony wasted $200 million on Concord. They need to make that fucking money back.
Yeah. Because it really bombed.
It's the single biggest bomb in gaming history in terms of money lost.
Like, the more that people talk about Concord, and like, there's all the memes around it, but I'm like, oh my god, like, they really lost a ton of money on that game.
Yeah. And it's crazy, because, like, it's not a terrible game. It's not, I didn't really enjoy it, but it's not a terrible game. It's just not a game that anybody wanted. At all. I think they were trying to court the Overwatch crowd to move over, but...
Yeah, they were 6 years too late.
Yeah, Overwatch has a dedicated player base, and they're not going to move at this point.
Yeah, the lowest point of Overwatch was, like, a couple years ago.
Yeah, 2021-ish, yeah. If it came out in 2021, it'd actually probably be a fair bit more successful.
Yeah, and we're all locked inside looking to shoot each other. That's perfect time to release a game.
Yeah, crazy. I'm still gonna buy it. Still gonna buy it.
I can't. I'm not gonna do that.
You can, you're just choosing not to.
Oh yeah, I can. I'm choosing not to. I barely play the PS5 to begin with. Like, if I had $1,100 to spend on just gaming, I would just upgrade my PC more.
It is mental, though.
Like, at that point, I would just get whatever the best card I could. Everything else in this thing's fine.
This does seem to be a bigger upgrade than the PS4 Pro was.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, actually, because the CPU's identical, the RAM's identical, the SSD speed is identical, although they didn't really need to upgrade that.
They said 28% faster memory. So maybe there's a RAM upgrade? I don't know.
Okay, so if you take off the 20% tax in the UK, it would be $559, which is only $731 US. Okay, so it's only about $30 more in the UK.
Just looking at articles, the PS4 Pro was like 25% more powerful than the base PS4.
Yeah.
But it was also like
this
not
is
that
why
more expensive.
PlayStation fanboys cheering for Microsoft's and Xbox's downfall are very stupid.
It's a bad thing, yeah.
Because if Microsoft was in a good position to challenge PlayStation, this would not happen.
The 360 bitch slapped Sony so hard that the PS4 turned out to be an amazing console.
Wow, the PS3 actually outsold the 360 ultimately.
Yeah, by the end.
Yeah, it was behind for a long time, but then eventually caught up.
But during the heyday, and that's because PS3 is still getting sold in a lot of places.
Yeah, but I think it was just the exclusives that they got around the 2009 time, like Infamous, Uncharted 2, Killzone 2, I think.
Well, and like I was talking to you last night in the DMs, PS3s, before the Xbox One came out, PS3 was like, every home theater had one. Like, I used to install them everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it was the best Blu-ray player you could get, because Sony owns Blu-ray. And it self-updated. It was the best Blu-ray player. Man, that is... So 2 terabyte SSD, no disk drive.
Oh god, I'm gonna send you this. This is funny.
Play their game at 60 FPS.
I just sent you something.
Yeah.
Is there actually a Kamala versus Trump debate tonight?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Okay, so... I love that he managed to take a shot at both PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
A great American brand! It's a good tweet.
That is a good tweet. I could see that, like, happening. Have you seen this? Okay, so they have basically
You have to be on a level of hubris never seen before by God or man to think that you can sell a mid-gen console upgrade for $700. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It is a very arrogant, very, very arrogant move. It's 33 teraflops. Okay, so it wasn't far off with 36. It's 33.
I'm excited to see the actual performance.
Yeah. Real world performance is different. The thing is, games are going to be developed for, Series S as a baseline still. Although, I think the reason you're seeing a lot of games go PS5 console exclusive is because they're not running on the S. They won't say that, but games like Black Myth Wukong, that Italian game that's coming out soon, some other stuff, even some stuff that Sony probably money-hatted.
The big benefit I know from my developer friends is that if you develop for a Series S, you're essentially developing for a lower-end PC, so it's very easy. Kind of like transfer that over, because the majority of people on PC are using like a 1050 or 1060.
I believe the 2060 is the most popular card now. It used to be 1060, now it's like 2060.
Which is good job, PC gamers. They got their shucklebucks together. I bought my 2060 for $85.
I paid like $500 for one, so fuck yeah.
The fans were broken, and the guy thought the card was cooked because the fans were broken.
Okay.
I replaced the fans.
Okay. So a retard sold you a graphics card.
A retard sold me a fucking 2060 for $80.
Okay, so if it's 33 teraflops, that is a spam call. You can ignore that. Fuck you, eat my dick. If it's 33 teraflops, that is a big GPU increase. That is significantly more than the increase from PS4 to PS4 Pro. They went from 1.8 to 4 teraflops. So my prediction was actually mostly around correct.
What I said yesterday, which was 60 FPS at 1440p.
Nah, if it's closer to quality mode, it will be like 1800p or so.
It'll just be 1440p upscaled.
No, I'm talking native, because everything gets upscaled to 4K.
Yeah,
I think it would be a little bit better than 1440p.
I still think the baseline will end up being... I've yet to buy a 4K monitor. Is there a reason to buy a 4K monitor? I have a 4K
I have
TV.
a 4K TV, and that's what I have my Elgato hooked up to.
Yeah, but like, I just have 1440p monitors because you can get them. They're way better. It's like $300 and you get like a really, really good one, like 120 hertz 2K monitor. It's a depressing amount of money. Like, every tweet I see is just people being like, I can't afford this.
We shouldn't be too surprised given that Xbox are charging $600 for a Series X with 2 terabytes.
I'm sorry, how much?
The Series X is $600 in the US with a 2 terabyte hard drive these days.
Jesus Christ.
And the Series X is going to be a fraction of the power of it.
I think 1 terabyte is fine. The base Series X is 1 terabyte, right?
The thing about the Series X is it's much easier to upgrade your storage. It's much more restrictive than the PS5, but you actually need to fucking crack open the PS5 to upgrade your storage.
Look, honestly, I did that for the PS5 because I thought I would be using it a lot more. And I think that hard drive's only like a quarter filled.
I'm absolutely going to buy it. I'm absolutely going to buy it.
It sounds like you've been convincing yourself for like 20 minutes.
You're not entirely wrong, but I said...
You're like,
if it,
fuck,
I said if it was... I was talking to you in DMs last night. It said it was $5.99 US. I was going to buy it. With no
that's
disk
a good
drive,
price.
And 1 terabyte. Basically, the only thing that's different here is the extra $100 for an extra terabyte of storage.
And
Everything else is pretty much... And the stand, but who fucking cares?
$30.
It's a small thing, but
Look, I make $42 an hour. So I just equate that to an hour of work. Take me an hour of work to buy a stand.
that's mental.
Which is a little ridiculous.
An hour of hard labor for a fucking stand.
For a stand.
Jesus.
Hour
Christ.
hard labor for plastic.
That's mental when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume I can just... I mean, I think the stand is detachable. In fact, I know it's detachable because I had to screw it in when I got it. So, in theory, I could just replace the stand for the PS5. It's such an arrogant thing, though. Like, the audacity to charge extra money for a stand. They did it with the PS5 CM as well. The vertical stand was not included.
And okay, so and then put it this way: the average wage in Canada is $18.75. So they would have to work
That's not
2 hours of
higher
hard
than
labor.
minimum wage.
Yeah, they would have to work 2 hours to get a plastic stand.
That's actually pretty grim considering how much everything costs in Canada.
Actually, and then you have to take off tax. So hold on, let me take off tax. You would have to work 2 hours and 41 minutes
Jesus fuck.
to buy a plastic stand. To buy the
Genuinely, what the
PS5,
fuck?
to buy the PS5 Pro, you would have to work 2 weeks and not spend anything on the average wage in Canada.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I bet you now pre-orders for this will still sell out.
Oh, probably. There'll probably be a lot of scalpers too. I mean, we saw that. Like, there is scalpers for everything. There's scalpers for fucking special editions of games now.
Yeah.
I tried to get the special edition of Warhammer, and sold out. And the guy at EB Games or GameStop or
the PS5 Pro enhanced games is the First Descendant, and people were saying, "What does it enhance? What does it enhance?" I mean, I'm
Do
sure.
you think they got rid of Concord on this list?
Yes, absolutely. Concord would have been expected to have a PS5 Pro patch. Yes, they would have just removed that line.
Do you know what would have been a fucking banger thing to do with Concord if they wanted to be successful?
What?
Release it for free on the day that the PS5 Pro comes out. some microtransactions in it. Make your money back. Release it for free on the day the Pro comes out. Have it run at a crazy frame rate, crazy fidelity, because that game did not take a lot to run well.
Concord did actually look very good graphically.
It did look good. But I'm saying that the way that game was made, like, you don't need a lot to really push it to the max. So your game could have ran at 120 FPS 4K on a PS5 Pro, and that could have been like the game to play day one. Instead, they released it just before some of the best game, like one of the best games of the year, and just after one of the best games of the year.
Star Wars Outlaws wasn't that good.
Nah, Black Myth Wukong and Warhammer.
Perhaps 2 weeks later, to be fair. They'd already announced the shutdown before Warhammer came out.
Yeah, which, because it lasted the same age as a housefly.
Yes, actually.
Like, that's... 8... Oh my god.
It is as expensive as the Panasonic 3DO. So it's tied for the most expensive console in history.
My dad has a 3DO.
This is a crazy... Here's the thing. My predictions are mostly spot on. The difference is the SSD is bigger, so it's $100 more expensive. But the optics of $700 US with no disk drive, no vertical stand, and a significantly more expensive price in other regions is horrendous.
For 20 exclusives...
I said this to you last night. Sony love to take PR own goals.
Yeah.
They are run by some of the most moronic people on the planet. How they are, frankly, fucking dominant in the console space is beyond me.
All that...
Well, to be honest, it's just because Microsoft are even more stupid and Nintendo don't even compete anymore.
Well, I think a big problem, and this actually...
People do use that list you just sent me, by the way. I don't think it's very...
oh no, it's just a meme. It's just a meme.
Yeah, because games like God of War and Horizon and Final Fantasy 16 and stuff like that, they are PS5 console exclusives. PC is a separate market. So, I mean,
but
God of War's on PS4 actually, but
I think the reason the PS5 like sold so well is because the generation
hype.
Below me,
it was entirely
like,
hype.
Well, and it was like people your age, because you're like
23 next month. 23 next month.
Yeah, so when the PS4 came out, that was basically your version of like my 360 to PS2 to 360. So like that whole generation,
like console generation, yeah.
Yeah, that whole generation lived and died on the PS4 because that was the console that won. And because that was the console that won, they extended that into PS5, and now...
Hype and backwards compatibility helped a lot, I think.
Yeah. What happens when the hype dies?
I don't think the hype is gonna die, because they for the hype to die, either gaming would need to die, which is not gonna happen, or there needs to be
watching the hype die in real time right now.
There needs to be serious competition. People say they're not gonna buy the PS5 Pro, but they're still gonna have a base PS5 and still buy games on the base PS5.
Yeah, but like all it takes is just a couple of those. I'm not gonna buy that product.
Is pretty niche. The PS4 Pro is pretty niche.
15% of overall sales.
It's less than that. It was like 12%.
But even then, that's still like a decent amount. It was just a bit more expensive, and it came later.
It's an enthusiast product, though. The PS4... I wonder if this is going to get a PSVR 2 fate.
I think that's in the announcement.
PSVR was $400, I believe. And... it sold not well, but okay. PSVR sold okay. PSVR 2 was $550. And sold terribly.
Yeah.
I believe they've actually given up on PSVR now. PSVR 2 is basically being used as a... They turned it into a PC headset, and they've stopped making games for the PS5 in VR.
Well, like, just... So they've launched a new VR that didn't sell well. This console probably won't sell... I don't think it'll equate to 8% of overall PS5.
I think it depends on how it runs GTA 6. Like I said, I think initial sales will be very soft. Very soft. And that would have happened whether it was 500 or 600, 700, whatever. There just simply isn't the games lineup this year that many people buy it day one. When GTA 6 comes around, when...
people are blaming the Series S.
Of course they are. It's a meme at this point. And part of it's actually very accurate. There's a lot of that moan about the Series S.
Have you seen the Series S meme where he's wearing like a top hat and spitting on the other consoles?
No.
He keeps screwing them over. Oh, fuck. Kills me.
But there are a lot of developers that have complained that the Series S is actively holding back game development. Yarian with Baldur's Gate is probably the most high-profile example of this, but more recently, Black Myth Wukong and Inotria, I think it's called?
No, the head of Black Myth Wukong Studio came out and said that the Series S wasn't a problem.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was the other thing. It was Inotria. They said, this shit runs like arse on Series.
Larian said they couldn't get a split-screen co-op to work.
There was an entire feature that just would not work on Series S.
Yeah. I don't know why they demanded parity between the two consoles.
Well, because they want the Series S to look like a next-gen console. They want it to be a viable next-gen purchase. If they did not demand parity, then people would just not make games for it.
I mean, it is a pretty neat little console.
Anyway, that is why a lot of third-party games are not coming out on Xbox. That is why. That's not a secret at this point. So they only sold 2 million PSVR 2s.
That's abysmal.
How many I think they sold like 5 million PSVR 1s, something like that. 5 mil, yeah. So less than half.
A lot of people got the PS5 or PS4 VR to be like, let's try this VR thing, and they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Some people just don't like VR. I fucking hate VR. Like, I think it is a waste of time.
I think the problem with VR is we haven't... most of the games we've had are glorified tech demos.
I got to play Half-Life on, like, a beast PC, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Half-Life is like a full game, but the most VR shit's just tech demos.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, Half-Life was great, but I could not imagine spending the money that my buddy Radley had to spend.
The nice thing about Arkham Shadow is it does actually seem to be like a full-fledged Arkham game just running in VR. So... I have high hopes for Arkham Shadow. But that's not coming out on PSVR. It's a MetaQuest exclusive, so...
All the Sony cringe accounts are calling people broke for complaining about the price.
They're not entirely
like, you gotta
wrong.
go...
They're not entirely wrong!
Oh, come on!
I'm gonna buy one!
What's the average wage in the US?
It's gotta be worse than $18 Canadian. Well, let's average... Yeah, let me get this up. Average US wage.
$63,000.
Okay, that's significant. I think that actually might be more than in Canada. $12.56 an hour. No.
How many hours to buy a
that's average
stand?
over 60 years. $30 US an hour in June of 2024.
Whole hour. Wait, really?
Yeah, that's significantly better than Canada, actually. But
that also goes by state.
Yeah, and also stuff like...
Alright. I got a little,
$18 an hour does go a long way further than $30 an hour, because they need to pay for healthcare and shit, so...
I got a little chart here that you just hover over the state, tells you the average salary. I'll send it to you. It's actually a neat map. Average salary seems to be about $58,000. So 28.
That's yearly
30.
though, not hourly.
Yeah, you just have to break that down. So you break that down.
$56,000 an hour. Fuck yeah.
$56,000 a year. So that's 59 is $28 an hour, I think.
So there's only one upcoming game that has PS5 Pro support confirmed, and that's Assassin's Creed. Very smart. Yeah. To try and cross-promote Assassin's Creed with this. It's gonna boost sales of both the Pro and Assassin's Creed.
Oh, fuck. Jeff Keighley put out his grade thing that he does.
Oh, no. I'm gonna guess
Go.
like I'd probably give it like a B. Like as I said, I told you what I thought it would be, and I was almost spot on with the exception of the SSD size.
It is a 12.5% of people have said B.
60% have said D or BR.
Yes.
What did you vote it?
I just voted A so I could see.
Oh, okay. So you just yied.
Yeah. Good job, Sony.
Hey!
Thanks, Sony. There's nothing I like better than bending over and taking it for Sony.
I mean, you showed me the hoodie.
That's what my wallet's about to do.
No, it's not. You're not gonna fucking buy it.
I'm not fucking buying it.
I'm about to bend over and take it.
Just crazy.
I've actually got to
Hold
go. I've got
Yeah, I got a phone call. I gotta go.
Alright, you have a good one, man. And, yeah, I can't wait to line up for pre-orders for this.
Alright, peace, man.
Peace. Okay, I do have to go, so... yeah. Fucking mess. Okay, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Jesus Christ, I cannot believe $6.99! Jesus. Alright, catch you guys on the next one.